words right now about brand equity. What is brand equity? Why does it matter? Brand equity is what customers think about you, right? Brand equity is nothing other than the perception customers have about you or your company. Brand equity is completely different from your product or your service. The brand equity you can manufacture. This is about thought process. What do people think of you and your company? Not the products, not the services per se. It's the thoughts about them. That's brand equity. Now, how do you shape the perception that people have of you or your company? Very simply, words. Words are your main tools for shaping people's opinions and beliefs. Words are what every leader back in history, every cult, all of it is all based off of words. And even today in the world of content, the media that we're in, whether it's social or otherwise, it all starts with the words, right? Your video scripts, your podcast, anything that people blog about, it is word based first and then from there. So, your most powerful tools are the words. The words are what define what people come to think of you or your brand, right? If when Apple says think different, when Nike says just do it, these are all words that start to define what matters to the company and thus what matters to the clients. And so, as example, my old world of finance, right? Wall Street, everyone's trying to make money, but that's not the term that they use. The words are different. In the money management community, the hedge funds that I serviced, they're all seeking alpha, right? Alpha is the word. Alpha is what the high finance Wall Street people use to define that thing, that money that comes from putting your money at risk. Alpha, right? That's one. But then you've got in there the investment advisors, wealth managers. These folks don't call it alpha, right? When you're the people who are advising family wealth, family offices, trying to grow your money for generational usage, they call it returns, investment returns. Investment advisors talk about the returns you can make on your money, right? That's not what the hedge funds call it. They reference it, but the industry jargon is alpha on the first, it's returns on the second. Now, mom and pop that invest in the retail stock market, people buying through, Robinhood and TD Ameritrade, these folks that are buying stocks in small amounts, the retail folks call it what? They don't call it alpha, and they don't really call it returns. They call it profit. They just want to make money, right? That's where they get very simple in what it is. So you can argue that alpha and investment returns and profit are all the same thing, but they're not. And the reason they're not is because the word is specific to a type of person. It's ideal client, really, is what we're getting at here. The customer that you serve uses a certain type of word, the jargon, the lingo. You know this already. Anyone that's been in any industry, in fact, salespeople are constantly berated and yelled at and trained not to use the jargon they're familiar with in the industry. Keep it simple, stupid, right? We've all heard this. So words matter. Let's establish that. The reason the words matter is because that's what catches the eye and ear of the people that you want to interest in your product or service. This is an attention game, folks. And right now, the world has changed. Easy money drying up. Interest rates are running, right? Things are getting expensive. Inflation, we all know this. Crypto winter. What this comes down to is people are a lot more judicious with the spending of their money in environments like this, which means the words that describe what you do matter more now than ever. Yes, I'm pitching my book here, but the reality is, whether you're interested in what I have to say or not, it is a fact that people are going to be a little tighter with their dollar because they don't want to take a risk. And so the way you smooth that over, if you're a business owner, a creator, an executive in charge of a company, you have to be very clear in the wording of what it is you do. Clarity is power, folks. Marketing, materials, the sales pitches, the scripts. What does it say on your website? These are all words, and these are the things that determine who you attract. And of the folks you attract, some amount of them will want to speak with you. And of the folks who speak with you, some amount will convert into customers, right? The old marketing funnel. It's all based on words. And so how do you get better words for what you do? Over here, right? What I do right now is help people come up with the words. There's 4 things that you need to think about if you want better words to describe your company's offering. Product-based, service-based, doesn't matter. 1, define what your business is. What is your real business? I know everyone thinks they know what their business is, but if you can't explain it to a 5th grader in one sentence, then you really don't have a great handle on it. The words you choose when you have only a few seconds to impress people with what you do, they matter, right? So have you hammered that out? And every salesperson knows about the elevator pitch, your company's tagline. These words are specific, right? It's very detailed. There's a lot of thought that goes into what's the wording around what you do. Have you done that for yourself? If you tomorrow had to go on a podcast, if you were going to appear on CNBC for 5 minutes, do you know what you would say? These are the words that you need to have handy. Some of my customers, very advanced crypto-based gaming companies, real estate tokenization firms, they literally are on podcasts and major media like CNBC, and they come to me and say things like, I don't know what to say. What do I lead with? I know what I do, but I only have a minute and a half to describe it. You have to start thinking like that, guys. Second thing, the customer, right? We've defined your business, define your customer. And I mean specifically, who's your ideal target client? Yeah, everyone wants to sell to everyone. I get it. Who is it that will benefit the most and why? Can you hammer it out in 30 seconds, express why so-and-so is your best customer? Not to me, to them. That means storytelling. That means examples, lookalike customers, data. Do you have that at the ready? If you have an elevator pitch, is called an elevator pitch because it's supposed to be when you're in an elevator with 30 seconds to get across your point. Have you done that about your ideal customer? Do you know your business? Do you know your ideal customer? Can you express it in a matter of seconds? Which brings us to part 3, brand message. The brand message are the exact phraseologies, the wording that you say. What does it say on your website? Would a person in 5 seconds understand what it is from your catchphrase only, what you offer? Are you able to express in one sentence what you do? Are you able to express in 3 words what you do? I'm not kidding you. One of my customers, who's a different Cardano-based gaming company, they've got this like really cool interactive, true crime game that you have to try to solve. And I'm talking to the owner of the firm, and he's explaining all the in-depth, intricate, blockchain-based asset technology that runs it. And it's very cool, right? Very cool. But my point was, dude, 3 words. You got to have it in 3 words. What do? You're an interactive whodunit. That's the game. This comes from an old book way back when. The urban legend is that when a Hollywood script writer was shopping the script for the movie Alien, he walked into a producer's office and the producer was busy, and the producer said, you got 3 seconds. What is it? Describe the movie Alien in 3 seconds. And the guy said, Jaws in space. That's it. 3 words. This is what you need to do for your firm, boys and girls. You have to be able to say, this is what I do. 1, 2, 3. All right. 4th thing. If you want better words and phrases, you need a marketing plan. That doesn't mean making content. It doesn't mean just thinking what you're going to do and where you might post. It means the pyramid. What is the strategy and the organized words you're going to say, in what order, down what channels, on what cadence, under a calendar, building towards a specific activity you want your ideal client to take. This is the old marketing funnel, guys. Simple, right? It's really simple, but it's not. It's not easy. Simple doesn't always mean easy. 4 steps. Business. What's your real business? Customer. Who is your ideal customer? Brand message. What are the exact words and phrases that hammer out what you do in 1 sentence? Marketing plan. What is the strategic steps that you are taking in the proper order on the right channels in a cadence? That means there's an organized process, conveyor belt, Henry Ford. Creating of content isn't about creating content. It's about procedural specificity, right? You need to be able to put this out there now more than ever as a system. You have to systematize. That's it. So that's all I've got for you guys. That's how you build brand equity. Brand equity is not about the product or service. It's about what people think of the product or service. Brand equity is important right now in a down market, in a declining economy. The brand is the only differentiator, right? I'm looking for the cheapest alternative, but I'll pay for brand. There's no way it costs Nike $350 to make those sneakers, but you'll pay it. It's brand, guys. And if you're not building brand, you're going to be in the race to the bottom for price. That's not where you want to be. The bottom line is brand is based on words, and brand equity is different from your product or service. Give some thought to how you're working towards building your brand equity through your words. If you need help with this, that is what we do here. We've made an entire business over the last few years doing this. Happy to have a conversation. But whether you work through us or not, you need to hammer out the 4 steps for yourself. Get specific on your business, your customer, your brand messaging, and the plan to get it out there. Thank you for listening.